Hi guys, it's Promise Sebastian. Okay, so guys, back from the long and hectic exams. While I was away, I've received so many complaints from my viewers on YouTube that they need a video on another video on how to use Bezier. And it's very plain that for you to be good with your smartphone as a designer, like for you to be good as a designer with your smartphone, you really need to master every detail in Bezier too, because your professionalism is there, because you can create almost anything with it. So it's very essential for smartphone graphic designer, and I've received a lot of complaints. So what you will do for me is, after watching the video, try and retry all everything I'm going to say here, or everything I'm going to teach here for. So try and try and practice on it, so you get used to it, you get a hack of it. Let's start. Okay, first of all, your Bezier tool, you cannot use it on top of a shape. Let me show you guys something, the rules in using Bezier tool, before I go into the Bezier tool. Let's say this is a shape. I change the color to pink. Okay, so this is a pink shape now. So assuming this shape, this background was covered by this shape, so this is the shape. You see, in the shape menu, I don't have the menu of the Bezier tool any longer, so I cannot use this Bezier tool if you're on top of a shape. Okay, that's the simple pattern. You won't see the Bezier tool if you're on top of a shape, so you have to be in the main menu. Let's say you see the difference now. What do you see? The Bezier tool is out. You see, it's gone, it's out, it's gone. So you don't have to be on the shape menu. So there is no Bezier tool on this shape, so you have to be on the main background before you get your Bezier tool. So preferably when you have something covered, you want to use the Bezier tool on top of it, just lock the shape, so that once you click it, you get your Bezier tool and you can use it for whatever you want to use it for. Another step is the fact that you need your grid in Bezier. You need to use this grid in Bezier. So whatever you are doing in Bezier, make sure you have your grid for you to get perfect shape. Okay, I don't mean you can, I didn't mean it's a must that you have to use the grid, but it's paramount. It's important that you use the grid, because you have to, if with the grid you will get a perfect shape instead of getting shapes. Let's say you get a circle, is a circle but it has some edges. Imagine a circle having an edge, so it doesn't make sense. But with your grid, you get a perfect shape. And this grid can be adjustable in an exact division, horizontal and vertical division of the grid. Let's say I want 5 division over 5 division. So you see it here, you have 3 here, you have 3 here, so you can just change it over to this one, and so 5. So you can see I've gotten 5 over 5. So everything here is divided in equal parts. Okay, so it's very paramount. And when using grid, you use this U part, means magnet. Okay, it magnets everything that gets close to the grid. So when you're using the Bezier tool, once the lines of the Bezier tool gets close to the grid, it magnets it. So this magnet is really important if you are using, as you are trying to create a line with the Bezier. The magnet will help you. Don't worry, on the process of using the Bezier, you will get a hack of everything I'm trying to describe or explain here. Okay, so let's go to using the Bezier tool and the tools there involved in the Bezier tool. Okay, so this is my Bezier. This is a Bezier I created. Let me just delete it. Then I will lock this shape so I can be able to see the Bezier or use it. So this is it. Let me change the color to white. The color to white. So you have here white. So this is how the Bezier tool works. Let me start from the top menu here. This one is using shifting. This one is using shifting. Then this one here that looks like a copy. This one in the middle that looks like a double pepper is used to copy. So I've copied it now. I'm now in the 2. So since I copied it, I have 2 Beziers here to edit. So if I want to edit the other one, I'll have to use this button here to go back to the first one. So I can now edit. If you see this is now on the first one, so I go back and I'm now on the second one. I go back, I'm now on the first one. I go back and now. So if I'm to copy again, I now have 3 Bezier distance here that I can use. Okay, so if I'm to go to this second one, I can edit anything I want to edit to the second one. I can edit anything I want to edit to the first one. Then let's go over to the buttons here. Most of the times people get confused here. Let me delete this Bezier I have here. You see, once you open your Bezier tool, it keeps you in this first menu. get what this first menu does is it adds points for you, and this first menu is used when you need only a line. You don't want to close the line, so this first menu is important. So if you want to get many points on the line, you keep adding, keep touching, and you get lines. So once you want to edit the lines, you can go to the second part and move the lines to anywhere you want to edit it. Move it to move the dots. Each point you want to move, you click on it, then you see the handles where you can use to edit them. These are the things you can use to edit them. So each one you want to edit, you touch it, you see the anchors, you use it to edit them. Each one you want to edit, you touch it, you see the anchors, you use it to edit them. Each one you touch it, you see the anchors, you use it to edit them. So this is for lines. But when you want to, if you want to close this guy, you want to close it to a shape so that you can add color to it. You know, once it's open like this, you might not be able to add color to fill the inside. So you might not be able to fill the inside once it's open like this. So if you want to close it, you will need this guy here, this middle one. This middle one here. So that is where we move over to the second stage of these buttons. Over to this menu. So you can see you can close with this guy. Once you click on it, it closes, and once it closes, it's now open, showing that you can still open it again with it. So you see, and notice something, once you close it, the button now turns to 5. You see, why does it turn to 5? Because here you can use it to cancel point, here you can use it to add anchors when it is closed, because once it is closed, this guy becomes useless now. Once this shape is closed, this one that it has something like plus in it, so that's what you should note. This one has something like plus here, while the one at the first one has something like cancel in it. So you need this one that has a plus in it. So look at it, note it very well, so that, because you might be having that issue, the one which is add and the one which is cancel. So most of the times, after creating a good shape, you want to add an anchor and you didn't know that it was deleting. So note it, this one that is for adding has a plus sign in it, the one that is for removing has a cancel sign on it, which looks like X, while this one has a plus. So note it. So you use this one to add, and most of the times it adds clockwise and it adds anti-clockwise. But the problem there is, what you need to note is, each time you click on the anchor and you click on the add, and it adds in the direction. Let's say I was on this guy and I click it, add it in this direction. Know that if you click on this guy, if you have to use add, it will add in this direction. You see, it will add in this direction. See, so there is no perfect direction in which it goes. Most of the times you might click here now and add, it goes anti-clockwise. That's the problem in Pixellab. Most of the times it doesn't just have it. It's not always a must that if you have to click on this anchor and you want to add another anchor, because for you to add another anchor, you need to click an anchor. You get? For you to add another anchor, you need to be in an anchor first. You need to click an anchor first, then you click add, which this one I told you that has plus on it. You click add for you to add another anchor. You see, it's now going clockwise, but there's a situation where you will click on this anchor and add, it goes anti-clockwise. So in each of them, note that if it goes anti-clockwise, know that it will continue to go anti-clockwise in that design you are doing. But if you are in a design and you do it goes clockwise, know that it will be going that clockwise. So just notice, if I click this guy now and click and it adds clockwise direction, know that if I'm to click this guy also and add, it will add in a clockwise direction. But if I'm to click this guy and press add, it goes anti-clockwise. Know that if I'm to click the guy again, it will still be going anti-clockwise. So that is how it works. So let me cancel all these guys. I told you guys, this one that has cancel, that has something like cancel sign, that X sign is for removing the anchors. So for you to remove any anchor, you have to touch the anchor, click cancel, you remove it. If you want to add, you touch the anchor also and press add, it adds anchor. If you want to cancel, you remove, use it to remove. But if you have to keep on pressing it, to keep removing anchors in the way which it was adding it. So I've removed all the whole anchors. I only have 2 now, so I'll adjust this anchor. Adjust. So this guy, you need to note this guy. I've taught you guys what he's used to move around. You need to note move. So most of the times you might be at the edge, you want to move, so you move around. Then this guy on this other, and note most of the times if you are in each menu you are used to change. So in this move menu or in this guy you have only 4, but this guy here you have 5 here. and this guy you also have the same 5, but in this move you have only 4 minutes. So for moving here, I cannot click on the anchors. I only have the function to move it only. It's in the function of moving. So here is used for scaling. You use it to scale it up, use it to make it big or small, anyone. Then you use this one to rotate. You use this last one to rotate whatever angle. Rotating is easy, people. You can rotate it. The main point people have is adding anchors, which you use this one that has something like plus, and removing anchors, which you use this one that has something like minus, which is the cancel sign that looks like X, which is the one at the edge here. And most of the times it changes to 5 and it changes to 4. Once it changes to 5, know that you are in a closed shape. If this is a line, let me make it open with this guy here. This guy, I've told you guys, it looks like something is open. Let me make it open. You see, once it's open is 4. It's only 5 once it's closed, because once it's closed you will now have a menu for you to add anchor, which is the plus one, the one that has plus. This is a line. You can use this first menu to add anchors here. I've taught you guys, but if it's closed, you can be in this second menu and close it with this guy. Once it's closed, you have 5 minutes, because you need a menu for you to be adding anchors once it is closed. So that is it for all these guys. Then use this guy to make it the color, the fill color. To add color to it, the fill color, you need to add the opacity, increase the opacity of the fill color. Let's say the fill color is purple. You can use it to increase the opacity of the fill color of the purple. So another thing is, if you mistakenly add color to the distance, so there is no way for you to remove the color. Once you are starting any Bezier shape now, and you mistakenly add color, a fill color, there is no way for you to remove that fill color. But there is a way I developed. If you look at what you are gonna do is, if you click on the color, then you remove the opacity of the color with this my trick. I do talk about this on most of my videos. You reduce the opacity to the extreme, so the color becomes transparent and you have no color in it. That's the perfect way. But apart from that, there's no other way. If you just add the color, you've added the color. So you just have to reduce the opacity of the color to the extreme before everything goes out. Then this last one is the stroke color. This is the stroke color. I can make the stroke color to purple. Then these guys here are used when you are creating, let's say, some sort of an edge here, an edge. Let's say I'm creating a shape. Okay, so I've gotten some kind of triangle shape. I'm not using grid. That's why this triangle is not perfect. So I will teach you guys on how. I told you guys on the process, you learn how to use it for grid. So let's say I increase the width of this guy. Watch the edge of this width now. Once I change this thing, what do you observe? You see that the edge of the width here is sharp if I'm on this menu, and it's some kind of paved out if I'm on this menu. Then it's kind of curved, little bit curve here once I'm on this menu. So that is what it does. It works on when you add stroke on it. Then you can reduce the opacity of the stroke here and increase the opacity. I've taught you guys on the other one. So everyone knows, you guys know how to add gradient. If you don't know, I have videos on how to use gradient or manipulate them. So that's all for all the buttons here. So let's go over to the creating shapes with Bezier. So this video is gonna be long, but take your time, practice. If you just watch them and you don't practice them, they will just fly off the next minute. So just practice them, you will get the heck of it. Okay, let's create a shape. That's why I told you guys you need grid. You need your grid for it to be perfect as Bezier too. So let's say I need a perfect triangle. If I'm doing this triangle without this grid, you see what it will look like with a lot of dots. Okay, let me just remove dots. Yeah, let me remove dots to make stuff easy for me. Let me remove dots. Let me just make only 4 anchors. Let me not just call it dots, anchors. Let me remove anchors. So let me just leave it to 4 anchors. So I have only 4 anchors. Let's say I want to create a triangle. Without my grid, I cannot create something perfect. You see, the triangle is not that perfect. But watch what will happen here. I on my grid here. I on this magnet. So I told you guys what it works and how it works. And let's say let me just adjust this guy, or I will use this guy and get something like 5 5 5 5. Okay, so this is 5. I add 5 again. So I have 5 anchors now, so at least I have a more anchors to add my square to. let's say I use from this here to here, you can adjust to anyone. This guy is adjustable. As far as this menu is on, this menu here now that has something like settings and have the grid on it, this one, as far as it is here, it has a circle like this, it has this circle on it. It means that it's on, so I can adjust the grid to any point I want to adjust it on. To any point I can adjust it. If it's irregular, you can get it back to its normal position. I can adjust. So let me leave it to this tree. Look at what will happen. I'll off this guy now so that I cannot move, in case, so I cannot move the grid again, because if the grid is on, look at it, if it's on, I can mistakenly move it. So I go back to the tray and off this guy so that I don't mistakenly move it. So after it's off, watch what will happen now. What can you see? You see that the lines are automatically magneting to the grid, giving me a sharp square, my Bezier. So I think you see, after all, I off the grid. You see, I've gotten a sharp square, so I can just go over to the Bezier and fill it. Let me fill it. You see, very, very easy and wonderful. So without this grid, you cannot get that perfect shape you are looking for. If you want to start using Bezier without grid, the shapes will be irregular. So you need grid to get okay shape. So you need to master it so that once you feel like creating a shape, it will be easy for you to use the grid. So let's try creating a circle. I on my grid back again. I think I have it the same. It's in the default settings. Let me straight the default. So I off it back. Then I'll adjust this guy now. Give me a second. Let me remove the stroke here. I have stroke. I think it's too big. Let me reduce the stroke, maybe 6. So this is my circle for you. This is my circle I'm trying to create over here. I think I need 4 points also to create circle. I need 4 points here. I have here. So you need to see my anchors here. See where I'm putting them. Putting this one at the edge here. I'm bringing this one here at the edge here. This one at the edge here. Don't worry, I will still bring them back. But let me get what I'm trying to get first. So with these guys straight to their edges here, with the anchors up to the edges here, you see I'm not getting a curved circle as I want. So look at what I will do here. I click on this settings menu which you use to edit the grid. You can add another line, another grid line once you click on another grid. So you see all these grid and anchors. For you to add another one, you have to click on the existing one before then press add. It adds another one. So I clicked on this grid now. For me to get another grid, I'll have to press add, which will add another grid for me, and it adds it in a good manner. That means it divides let's say these 2 grid now. If I'm to add another one, it will bring another grid that will divide the normal grid into an equal part. See what will happen here. You see, I've divided it for me, so I have an equal and okay grid that I can use on my on the circle I want to construct. So I add another plus. You see, I've divided this guy again. So I off it now. Then I bring down the anchors. I need something in a circle form, so I don't need the anchors to get to the extreme. So looking at this, I think I will need to divide these ones also. I think I will need to divide the vertical ones also. I divide this. I click on this one. I divide this, so I have good dividend to give me what I need. So I bring down the anchors. Look at the anchors here. These things here. I'm bringing them close so that I won't be getting edge. I need something in a circular form. So I'll need to bring the anchors. So if the anchors are close, they create curves. But if they are close to the anchor, if the handle of the anchors are close to the anchor, they kind of create curves. But if they are far apart and close together, they create edges. So I bring them close. I bring this one close here. Then this one that is fire, I bring it close here again. So this one here, I bring it close here. think something is wrong somewhere. So this I think it's from this. So I bring this guy close. I bring this one close again. I bring this one close. So this one. So you see all the whole 4 anchors, look at them, I brought them close. Let me do this without this grid. You see I cannot get something like this without this grid. I just have to remove this grid so that you can see what I just did. So with the help of this grid, I actually got these anchors to these lines. The handles of the anchors, I got it to this line that I used to divide them. So you see I've created a circle. Okay, I think I've distorted it. So I increase the anchor again so that it will be at the edge here. So I remove the grid. You see I've gotten a circle with Bezier. And okay, no edge in the circle. Perfect. So that is it. You need the grid to create anything. You see all those manipulations, all those shapes you see I get when editing or creating flyers is actually the work of this grid. Let's say I want to create a button, a different edged button. Like most of the buttons this see me I do use on my flyers. Let me try one of them here. Okay, let me go back to Bezier. Yeah, I think I have 4 anchors. My grid is off, so I will not distort it. So let me create some kind of a button that has curved here, something like this. Okay, I do use buttons like this on my designs. I think this is big, so let me divide these ones again by 2. Click on this one, divide it by 2 again, so I can get something smaller. So I get it close. Take your time, practice, so you get a heck of this. If you understand it, you will really enjoy it, trust me. Okay, so this is what I'm trying to get. I'm trying to create a button. Most of the buttons I use on my designs, which you don't normally get on using only the edit tool. So I told you, if you are bringing the anchors, you don't have to move the anchors, just the handle. Use the handle to edit whatever you want to edit. So the more I bring this handle close, watch. Let me show you. You see, the more I bring this handle close, the more it creates a curve here. The more it goes apart, the more it tries to form something like a circle. So I bring back the grid. So to help me, I bring it close. So I see that for me to get something I'm looking for, you see, it's similar. So I will need to divide this guy again to get a line here, which I will use to keep these guys aligned. So I will need this line to keep these guys in the same spots. So I might not actually know where. Look at what I mean. I might not actually know the exact point which this thing is, which this guy and this guy will meet. So with the help of this line and this magnet, I can use my Bezier perfectly well and get it to the point. So watch what will happen. See this guy, this anchor point now. You see it now. Without this grid now, I cannot perfectly get it to this point now I want it to be with this magnet. So you see, let me zoom out. I'm going to show you guys what we have. So without the grid, I've actually gotten what I used to create often. You see it? So if I want to still make it this side of it, still make it look more awesome, I can just go to edit here with my grid here. You can still add more anchors. I say add more anchors with the plus here, more anchors. You can see it to add more anchors to it if you feel like you're not getting what you need that perfect. Practice this Bezier too. You're gonna enjoy it, trust me, you're really gonna enjoy it. If you get a hack of the Bezier tool, you will enjoy it, trust me. So I can still divide this one again, this one, click plus, it divides this one for me. Then I move the anchor point here and get this one to the extreme here. So and this here, I add another one with this button here, shift this guy here. So bring this guy to the middle, get an anchor. So most of the times if you get something like this, you can just zoom in so that you don't move another one by mistake. get, you can just move in so that you get something perfect. You really need this grid for you to get perfect shapes in Bezier. You need this grid. So I wanted to make this guy not that much curve. That is why I had to invent these other grids. Okay, so no one taught me this. I actually learned it by myself. So but I'm teaching you guys so that you can easily learn. You see, this is the kind of button I use mostly on some of my designs. Some people find it hard, so you actually need this thing. And another thing is what you need to learn is editing Bezier. You see, using this menu to adjust or do whatever you are doing in Bezier, it doesn't work. So you have to get back to the edit menu. If you want to increase it, just go back to the Bezier, use it to increase it here, increase the Bezier to fit in. If you use that pattern to increase it, it will not work. It will distort everything. So you see, I've actually increased it. But if I'm to use this pattern to increase it, you see what I'm getting here. See what I'm getting? It's actually not increasing it by the pattern. The default pattern is in. It's actually drawing it, like it's trying to stretch it. It's no longer in that original form. Okay, it doesn't increase it in the former pattern. It just stretches it. That's what it does. So don't use this button, this menu here to edit shape. I don't use it to edit shape because even though this was a normal shape, let's say, let me create a shape here. Let me say this is so this is this shape here. I add radius to it, so I had enough radius, so I've gotten the radius. So let's say I want to increase this vertically of this thing. You see what it's doing for me? It's kind of stretching this shape. So don't use this menu to increase whatever you just go back to the edit menu here. You need to increase it. It will give you something proper. You see, it's no longer stretching it, it's kind of increasing it from the edit menu. So once you are in this main menu here without the edit menu, you are kind of actually stretching the shape, and it will give you something that you don't like. It also applies in that of the Bezier. Okay guys, so another thing in this Bezier is, let's get my Bezier. Another thing in this Bezier is when closing a shape and adding anchors, keep these lines in a straight line. Okay, keep the lines in a straight line. Don't try to curve them so that you are gonna get something. Okay, let's say that is why you need this grid to keep these lines in a straight line. But where peradventure you don't have your grid on, keep these lines in a straight line. Try as much as possible to keep them in a straight line. Don't curve them, no matter what shape you need. Just if it implies adding another anchor, just add another anchor. Try as much as possible to keep the lines in a straight line so that the curves don't get edges. Okay, you see, if this thing is not in a straight line, let's say you see it bends some parts, or you have edges where you are not supposed to have edges, or you see something like this. So no matter what curve you want to get, make sure that these two lines, this thing are in a straight line. You want to create any shape you want to create so that it will look meaningful. No matter what curve you want to do, make sure they both are in a straight line. You can just better add another anchor. You want to get whatever you want to get. Add whatever shape, glorious shape you want to get. Just add another anchor. Just add another anchor. Whatever shape you want to, just add another anchor. Make sure the buttons are in these handlers are in a straight line. Just make sure they're in a straight line. So in creating irregular shape like this, grid tool might not be helping you. So you might just have to do it yourself because it's an irregular shape, it's not a proper shape. So in doing it, make sure your handlers are in a straight line. If leaving it in a straight line will not give you the curve you are looking for, just add another anchor to use to edit it. Add another anchor to use to edit it. If keeping it in a straight line will not help you, add another anchor to use to edit. Make sure they're in a straight line. Let me show you what I mean by that, how it can help you. Let's say this guy is not in a straight line. This one may not make it in a straight line, it's curved. This one is curved a little. So it's curved small. You see what I got? So it's for you to get something, unless you want to get an edge unless you are looking for an edge. But if you are probably looking for a rigorous shape that is not edge, that doesn't have an edge, yeah, that doesn't have edges in it, you want something perfect, a good curved shape, just keep them in a straight line. Keep them in a straight line, keep them in a straight line, keep all of them in a straight line. So no matter what shape, just preferably add another anchor to get what you're looking for. Keep all of them in a straight line. If they're not in a straight line, the shape doesn't make sense. It looks like an amateur work. So I'll try very much to add them. So no matter what shape you're trying to get, just add another anchor to use to adjust. Make sure they're in a straight line to each other. Get me what I mean by that? So see, now I can even keep this guy like this. See, I've gotten something smooth. There's no edges there, unless you need an edge there. So I bring this anchor down, trying to create some kind of a curved shape divide. I'm trying to shape divide this thing, some kind of a curve. So you don't need too many anchors. So what people, the mistake they do, they have a lot of anchors which will create edge. So let's say if I'm to add an anchor to this point here, and I make a mistake here and change this thing, so it will affect it. So I rather remove it. Remove the anchor. I only have 2 anchors, so I can bend this guy a little, then add another anchor so that I can adjust. Just go over to this one and add another one here, another one. Practice every single thing here. It will take you time. It's not that easy, but you can still learn it. I want some kind of a curve. I think this guy can get me where I need. I need this guy here. I need this one here. So you kind of in that same manner, in that same straight line, increase this guy, and I add another. It's adding in this way. I add with this one, so I remove this guy here. And note one thing: once removing affects, most of the times it affects the pattern or the angle at which it is. So you see, it affected something, but I'll have to adjust it back. So Bezier 2 is really not that easy. So you have to practice on this. Practice as much as you can. It's not easy. I can attest to that. Really not easy, but you have to practice. You will get a heck of it. It's nothing more than just your time. You understand it, so it's good to understand it so that everything you're applying to it will seem simple. So let me increase it, so you won't even notice that they're an anchor here. So you see, you didn't notice it. But instead of me not being that perfect, because my hand cannot be that perfect as it is, so preferably you just go to your Bezier and remove an anchor so that there won't be an anchor here in the middle. So you use only the handlers to operate on anything you want to operate on. You use only the handlers here, so you can increase like this. Use only the handlers to operate wherever you want to operate, so that there won't be any anchor. You don't get any sharp edge there. Increase this guy. That is it. See, I have what I'm looking for with a handler. No big deal. Okay, so that is practice a lot of this stuff. Practice. Okay, so guys, thanks for watching. I really took my time. I know the video is long, but just find a way to download and take your time. If you watch, you practice. Okay, so thanks for watching, and have a great day. And don't forget to subscribe if it's not, and on the bell button also, so that you get notified once I drop an awesome video like this.